This is Franco. Certainly I would look for verification, but part of being a judge is you have to also have compassion, and you have to have some understanding of real life situations and issues that affects everybody, not just people who end up being on the bench. And absolutely would I take that into consideration if somebody is in a necessity of having some medical treatment. There are many ways that one can handle the situation by either quashing the warrant or having the person post bail, and with a promise that he would reappear here in Clark County to stand justice for whatever charges that he has. So absolutely, I think it's imperative that a judge has compassion and understanding as it applies to everybody that comes before him or her.
I'm David Rivers. The Declaration of Independence says, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." The Declaration was written before the Constitution or any statute. Seems to imply that we had those rights at the beginning. Article 1, Section 1 of the Nevada Constitution also provides, in similar vein, all men by nature are created equal and have certain inalienable rights, among which are those enjoying and defending life and liberty, acquiring, possessing, and protecting property, and pursuing and obtaining safety and happiness. If these rights predate any law of the United States, what is the source of these rights, in your opinion? Mr. Gubler?
I think in much of the United States Constitution and the state constitution that it comes from common law of the United Kingdom, and those inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness was passed on to this country. And it means exactly that, and it applies from the U.S. Constitution through the 14th Amendment, and as you've indicated, we also have it in our state constitution. A very fundamental right, which in the United States Constitution, through due process clause and equal protection clause, those rights are and can be protected, and it's fundamental in the Constitution. And again, this is Jim Gubler.
Richard Scout. The right to be free, to seek our own welfare, is a God-given right. This is human nature, and the laws in the Declaration of Independence that were written were based on human experience, seeing repressive governments, those that wouldn't let people seek out their choice of employment, to seek out their rights. And when the framers of the Constitution and those that wrote the Declaration of Independence is based on that history and the God-given right to be free and to seek out our welfare, our well-being, and that of our families. That's where those rights come from.
Susan Baca. Now, the framers of the Constitution took a lot of things into consideration when writing the Declaration of Independence and getting ready and the preparation of that. They did look to, our European areas in forming the Constitution, but I do believe that each right that they have given to us is our inalienable right, and that we are given those for a reason, that they're very important for each and every citizen in our country, that we have those. It's come down through the U.S. Constitution to the Nevada Constitution, and again, we're entitled to those rights. We deserve those rights as citizens of the state of Nevada and of this great country. Thank you.
This is Frank Como. These inalienable rights have to be protected. let's keep in mind the reason why those rights are in the Constitution, because at the time when the Constitution was being drafted, individuals that were living here in this country were subjected to the forces or the armies of England at the time. They were just walking into people's homes without having any type of warrant to do so. They were having their speeches repressed. And so the beauty of the Constitution is that it reflects what those people really truly wanted to protect, and that is the freedom of speech. You know, the freedom of being able to walk and travel and not have somebody come into your house uninvited and search your residence. And as a judge, we need to keep protecting these rights, because ultimately it's the backbone and the basis of our nation, and it truly is one of the best documents that govern us that I can think of in the entire world.
My name is Cheryl Gardner, and I'm a certified court reporter. And Mr. Scow, I know I've done a jury trial with you, and Mr. Como, I know I've done unconditional waivers with you. My question comes from purely a selfish standpoint. As a new judge in a new department, you will have the onerous task of hiring staff. I'd like to hear your opinions, and since you're holding the mic, Mr. Goodware, I'll start with you. Will you be more comfortable hiring a live certified court reporter who is required to follow the mandates of the NACs and the NRS and answers to the Nevada Court Reporters Board for the public's protection, or will you hire a person to push buttons on a tape recorder?
This is Jim Goobler, and let me see. You know, I think Nevada has done a good job up until this point going with live court reporters, and I think there's a reason for that. Mechanically, electronically, things can go wrong. I want the individual there so that if you get to that point, you have that protection of having a live body. That's the way it works in Nevada now. I think the system works good. I guess the only downside is the exception. I can remember years ago in district court, the court reporter deciding to leave the jurisdiction and take, or either shred her documents or take them with her, and so that created problems. Is that going to happen very often? Absolutely not. Again, this is Jim Goodwin.